we have a guest,
We
and she's had an amazing life, and she's going to continue to because she's an awesome casting director. Please welcome Naela Durrani.
Yay!
Hi.
Woo! So you got a PS5?
No.
Oh, okay.
He's just going to
I
keep
have
doing
Had to
that.
ask.
I have a newborn. I have other things I have to spend
Oh.
my money on.
Oh,
Wait,
yes,
Oh
would
my
it be
God.
like the perfect gift for the father of your child? Is
He
that
doesn't play
like...
video games.
No, you're so lucky.
No, instead he plays Magic.
Oh, Magic the Gathering.
Okay.
So- As a casting director, did you get to go pick out the baby, or?
You know, I make that joke all the time. I'm like, I know what I'm going to cast him in, or I know how to cast him in things. And yeah, he's actually really cute. I already have a commercial agent for him.
Oh, nice.
So, by the way,
Nice.
those who do not know, it says Naela Durrani, casting producer. I said director. I'm sorry. Casting producer is more. It's more accurate. But she says with AGT. AGT means America's Got Talent.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we're here to prove that wrong. But you probably have plenty of great stories of some of the most interesting people to try to be in America's Got Talent that probably just need to go back to Starbucks, right?
I mean, yes and no.
You're so mean.
I'm not going to, rag on people, but there have definitely been some
Interesting
people
characters.
that have tried out not just for AGT, but for other shows I've cast. I've cast relationship shows, dating shows, house party shows. I try. Oh yeah. I tried casting Mama June's dating show.
Oh my gosh, Mama June's dating show. She was okay. So what was she in? She was in one of those pageant shows, right?
Yeah, she's Honey Boo Boo's mom.
How did
Honey
she end
Boo
up
Boo's
with the
mom.
redhead guy, though? How did that happen?
So she was gonna do the dating show, and then somebody, I guess, another network offered her the show from Hot to Not, and so she decided to do that show instead. But our show we were creating was going to be like Bachelorette style, but the guys didn't know.
It was Mama June. Oh,
They had no idea it was Mama June. Oh my gosh! You show up, you're like,
that would have been.
so where's she's
I
at?
think they dodged a bullet, right? Like after I read a lot of TMZ, I think they dodged a bullet.
Oh no! So they didn't find out until they signed their NDA, and when they signed their NDA, we told them. And there was one person in particular, a fireman from New York City, from Manhattan, jacked up, good-looking kind of guy, found out, and then he was like, "Yeah, I'm never trusting you again."
Wow.
I mean, I haven't seen any of the Honey Boo Boo stuff, but I've seen clips with Mama June,
Yeah.
and it's just the personality kind of makes you go, what's going on there?
I mean, she's on drugs. That's what's going on.
Oh, okay.
I feel bad for her kids. Their kids look like they have such charismatic personalities. I never really watched the show. I watched a lot of clips, and of course, they became like these famous like GIFs.
Yeah.
But I would read on TMZ about what was going on with their mom, and the fact that this was so public, I would just break my heart. Like, these kids are raising themselves. It's not even that. But
I think sadly, when you get on reality shows like that one, where it's all about you, stuff like that's not happening.
ouch.
I mean,
But not all reality shows are bad.
Not all reality shows
People
are
still have
no.
People still have their own free will to do what they please, and unfortunately, the decisions that they make is on them. If nobody else is putting a gun to your head, so if
100%.
they make bad decisions, that is solely on you. You're the
I mean,
only
I'm
one
obsessed with 90 Day Fiance myself, so I can't talk. So.
Oh my god! Oh,
Now, you see,
I love.
I'm old enough.
Reality show I watched.
I'm old enough to remember watching the first 2 seasons of The Real World.
So am I.
Which started it all. And what was it? It was season 2 where MTV cast a guy named Dutch
Oh
who
yeah,
started shit with everyone, and they went, this is what needs to happen every show. Our ratings are going through the roof. Nobody likes this, they're getting along stuff. We need a Dutch in every show.
yeah.
So, have you cast a
Um,
Dutch?
I mean, I don't think so. Um, I've never. I don't think his name was Dutch though. It was something else. But no, I've never cast a complete asshole. Um, I think the shows that I work on, I've cast a lot of game shows, especially. So I think people want to like the people that I'm casting. Um, hmm. Yeah, I've never had anybody who's a real. Maybe me trying to get them on a show, they've been a little bit of an asshole, but yeah, like they're just like, well, and just in general, it's like, hey, I want you to be on this show, and they're just like, no, like, and they're just like pompous, I guess, but no,
aw.
I've never, but I understand. Like, if somebody asked me to be on some dating show, I'd be like, no,
So no asshole. So you haven't worked on The Apprentice.
no,
Good for you.
God.
I
Good
would
for
never,
you.
I would never work on. And what's funny is The Apprentice, like when they had all the celebrities on it, it necessarily wasn't a casting person that was booking that. That was like a celebrity booker, of the show. They just looked up all the managers and wasn't part of casting. But anyway, sorry.
So, Nyla, how long have you been in the industry?
So I started working in casting in 2013.
Oh my gosh, so it's been a long
7 years, 8 years now. Yeah. So.
A long time. Man.
It is. I mean, come on. Well, the marriage is only
Basically,
last
I've
6
been doing
months.
casting all of my 30s, so you can tell how old I am.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah.
You do not.
It's been fun. It's been fun. I was working as like a PA and as a coordinator and all these other like organizing type of jobs in production, and I realized I hated production and I hated sitting on set waiting for lighting, and so I'd rather get into something a little more fun, which was casting.
So you started from the bottom. You were a PA.
Oh yeah, I started actually I was a receptionist in a commercial office, like a. Remember the guy who did, or remember the commercial, This Is Your Brain on Drugs?
Oh, yeah.
And all the Budweiser Clydesdale commercials during the Super Bowl. So I worked in that commercial director's office as his receptionist. And then after 4 years, I left that, was a PA in commercials, which I hate working in. It sucked. And then and then when I got into casting, I started as an assistant. So every time I've kind of like switched careers in this industry, I've always started at the bottom.
I think that's actually pretty common, right? A lot of
Yeah.
people in the industry started from the very bottom. Either they were like mailroom clerks,
Yeah.
or they were PAs.
Yeah.
I've actually heard that very often with the most successful people. Now, this is a question for people that want to get on these big reality shows like America's Got Talent. You do other shows like were you part of the Gong Show? I can't remember.
Yeah, I did the Gong Show season 2, so I was lucky enough to cast about 80% of the talents that got on air. Or that auditioned on the stage. So
I have always dreamed of being the fastest gonged person ever, but I saw somebody on there that just walked on and their parents made them gong right away. And then I was like, damn, that's not going to happen.
I was really sad that more people didn't watch the show. I think it had like 1.8 million viewers, so it was like it only lasted 2 seasons. Plus, they also changed the days and the times continuously through the season. So how are you supposed to have an audience like tune in for your show? It was a fun show to work on, and I met a lot of crazy people and some of my favorite people that I've ever cast.
Well, in reference to that, I mean, what advice would you give to new talent that wants to actually book these type of auditions?
I think the biggest thing is obviously be ready for this opportunity, whether it be like the Gong Show, Bring the Funny, American Idol, The Voice, Dancing with the Stars, or what is it? Not Dancing with the Stars, World of Dance, or AGT, it's like, number one, you got to be ready for an opportunity like this. I think there's a lot of people, going back to the fun comments at the beginning, there's a lot of people who think they're like, I'm a singer, I can sing. It's like, no, it's not like you sing in the bathroom. You know what I mean? You're actually somebody pursuing this. You know what the show is. You understand the show, and you understand the standard that we're looking for. I think be realistic. And then I think it also comes down to, having the talent, but also personality. I want to root for somebody. I want somebody I can relate to. A lot of comedians, as examples, they're like, when they try out for AGT, they're just like, oh, well, I'm not dying of cancer. I'm just like, I'm not looking for the cancer story. Like Preacher Lawson, great example. He's fun, energy. The second he walked out on that stage, it was just like, I like this guy. You just fell in love with him and his energy. I don't think any show is looking to cast another preacher, but I think at the end of the day, that big personality, that stage presence, that's what I'm looking for. Personality, stage presence, and talent. Those three things first and foremost. Your backstory we can find. We all have a backstory. I'll dig for a backstory. One time I was talking to somebody for 45 minutes, and all of a sudden she's like, yeah, I have a foundation that helps mentally, da, da, da. And I'm like, why haven't you told me this already? Like, we will find something. So
I actually was trying to pitch an idea, but they didn't like it. It was called the Mass Stalker. They really didn't like that. We would reveal who the stalker was, but it would take handcuffs.
Man, get out.
Okay, bye.
Oh my lord. Oh my.
You've met a lot of people. Which
mm-hmm.
Which is your favorite underdog story? Who is someone that blew you away that you wouldn't expect had blown up the way that they did?
Gosh. Maybe Alex Cooper. He came back for a second time this season, and he got through the live shows. So that was really cool, because I came to AGT, I remember my first season, I was like, we've never had a roaster on the show. And they're like, go find it. And I was like, okay. And I was just happened to be at the Comedy Store watching roast battles. And then, oh God, what's his name? Brian. Is it Brian who runs the roast battles up there?
I can't remember exactly his last name.
African American guy. I think his name's Brian. I can't remember. Anyways, so he was like, hey, you got to meet this guy. His name's Alex. And I was like, okay. And Alex just walked up to me. I told him who I was, what I needed. Within a week, he got me an audition tape, and I was like, oh, Jesus. I was like, how do I show this to my producers? And so, and then, later he found out he was on the show. And then this year he came back and apologized, and then roasted them again. So I think he's been one of my favorites. I think my favorite person that I've ever cast was a girl named, oh God, this is what happens when you have a kid. Things just like go out of your mind. Her name is.
See, she doesn't like production, but she does like reproduction. Everyone, she had a child.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm the same way, but I don't have a kid, so I don't know. How
yeah, it's a real thing. There was a girl named Haley. Her name is Haley, and I cast her on Undercover Boss, Celebrity Edition. Celebrity Edition. So celebrities came on and found people inside their industry. So she was on an episode with a plus-size model. Can't remember that model's name, but it's a plus-size, very well-known model. And she's also a plus-size model, but she's Muslim. She's from Pakistan. Moved here to America, I think 2 weeks before 9/11. Hardly spoke English. And, oh God, what did they call her? They kept calling her Terry at school. The first,
for
couple weeks. Yeah.
That is awful.
Wow.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
jeez.
Yeah, and she didn't speak good English, and this is right after the towers went down and everything like that. So they kept calling her Terry, and at first she thought, oh, they gave me a nickname, they're accepting me. And like a week or so later found out, terrorist. So through that, she's had a hard time, and then she was plus size and learning the language and everything. So she was on our show, and now she's under her boss, and now she's modeling and she's signed and she travels like constantly. Like see her on Instagram, like damn it, I want that life, you know. She's always in like Germany, and oh, it's fun. I'm happy for her.
Wow.
Like that is awful. Oh my gosh, no, but that's so good. Yeah, that is definitely.
That's awful, but that's good. That's
Well, I
awful,
mean,
but
like,
good. But awful, but
she
good.
is
But
now
awful, but
like,
good.
haha, screw you people. Like you made fun of me.
Yeah.
Guess where I'm at now. Like I love that. I love it. And then actually, Alex. Yeah, even Alex live. He's such a likable person. I actually always smile when I would hear his sets, especially when he would talk about his dogs. I highly recommend watching him live. He's really funny.
He's really good.
I keep trying to be a plus size male model, but the only people that keep calling is Ducks Unlimited. Damn it!
You look like you would be on
Duck
site,
Dynasty.
but more like a
Yeah.
like pedos.
Oh, now, if I was on Ducks Dynasty,
I had to make one really bad one. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I didn't mean it. Kind of.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm not. It's fine. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. No, but if I was on Duck Dynasty, though, I would have different kind of duck calls, like, "You ducks want some food?"
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if it worked, but you know.
No, that's I'm sorry.
It's for the ducks that speak English. I have to make some other ones. Yeah.
Okay. American
Okay.
ducks. Okay.
So Naela, do you think that people Dan, get out.
This way now.
Do you think that people when they audition or even if they do stand up, should they have a certain attribute that they should put more emphasis on, like typecasting, like
Or a beard. Or a
exotic
beard.
Latina, or the super stoner Jew? I've had this conversation before with other casting directors. They say go for it, but what's your perspective on it?
Like, how should they look?
Not that how should they look, it's should they put more emphasis on who they are in reference to personality? Like for comedians, all right, let's say.
I think you should play into your personal character at the end of the day. You know, like, let me use an example. I mean, we can just use Preacher, I guess, because everybody knows him. If he came out and he was calm and he didn't play into his like energy and everything, I think it would lose something. You know, you kind of want to play into who you are a bit more. You know, it's just kind of like getting ready for a date the first time. You just swiped right on the hottest person on Tinder. You're going to go out there and meet them in person. You know, you're not going to be 7. You're going to be at 10. You're going to have that best outfit on. You're going to have your hair done and your makeup on. You're going to be smiling throughout the whole dinner. You're just going to put the best face on. You're playing a role of yourself essentially on that date. You know, the first date is an audition, and that's what I've always joked about. Is like everybody who goes on a date with me is just auditioning to get a part in the show. The big show being me. You know, that was always my like little one-liner and tagline. On my dating profiles. So back in the day.
I'm so glad I'm married now. I have been married for 19 years now, so it's like I haven't had to do a date in a long time, and it's relieving. Everyone, it's relieving not to have to date anymore.
Especially in your 30s, you don't want to do that in LA. Trust me, not in your 30s in LA. But I think that's what it comes down to: is you are always on an audition. You're always putting your best foot forward. If you're at the comedy club and you are going to perform on stage, you should look the part at all times. You don't know who's going to be in the room. You should always be recording. That doesn't mean audio. That means a video, because you don't know when you're going to kill that night. Now you have an audition tape. You know what I mean? It's like, and you're looking good because you were already on point. So I think that's a good thing, is like always be in your character, in a sense, you know. I think that's the biggest thing, and I don't think like, oh, you should shave your face, you should be clean cut. maybe that's not your character, you know. If I told you you should dye your hair black and you should, you know, wear certain clothes or do your makeup a certain way, you'd be like, well, that's just not me. That's not my style. There's a great comedian, Carmen Morales. You know, I don't know if you know who she is. She's a Latina female comedian here in LA. You know, she always wears like a was it a flannel shirt and some like jeans, and you know, but if you told her to wear dark high heels and a dress, it just wouldn't be Carmen. Yeah. So you know, that's my say there.
I love that. I love that because I had mentioned before, we had a casting director before as one of her guests, and she said yes, you are. She would highly recommend typecast, but you seem like you're pushing more towards be yourself, put more emphasis on yourself, and definitely bring that energy, which a lot of people don't do. I mean, when I see comedians out on stage or these Zoom shows, half of them are like, I'm just here to talk. My jokes are good, but I'm not putting any energy. They're really witty, so people will laugh. And in reality, it totally zones me out. I'm like, haha. Like, I'll chuckle. Dan at least puts a bunch of energy saying stupid stuff, but I love it.
Thank you.
I'll be honest.
So much energy.
I've gone to comedy clubs and I've seen the same comedian 100 times, but they always look nice. And even when they're dressed down, they still look like they tried. And they come on stage and they're always performing. They're always on. They you know, I think Nick Guerra is a great example of this. You know, he is just a very seasoned comedian, and I feel like he always tries to dress up unless he's at a club and then the manager's like, get on stage. He's like, I'm not really dressed for the part. But when he has shows, he always dresses nice. So I think he's a really good example. But he used to have long hair, and he was being typecast as like this young Hispanic or stoner or something like that. Like, he was always being typecast like that. And it fit him. So, but he didn't want to be cast as that anymore. And so he cut off all his hair. And he's a different look now. Is he getting booked for things? I have no idea, but he's not getting booked for those roles he didn't want to do anyway. So I think it just goes back to what you're wanting to do, what your path is.
I always try to make sure to get all the stuff I usually leave in my beard out before a show. So I don't want it to be in there during the show.
No, you don't want to do that.
No. I'm talking about berets and things like that. So.
No, but I agree with Stacy. You know, somebody comes, you know, onto the stage and they got a certain energy about them, and their personality is really coming out. It really draws you in. It helps. It really helps. You know, because if you have the jokes but no energy and no personality, then it's kind of like, yeah, that person's funny. Wait, what was his name? Who was he? You know,
it's kind of interesting when someone can do that with a little bit of low energy, though. To like a Stephen Wright or Doug Stanhope comes out, and the way he talks to the audience, he talks like, "I know you guys," and then he just starts talking to you, and that's the weird thing. He doesn't have a ton of energy, but he has this energy where he's the guy you were waiting to show up at the party, kind of dude. Like, this is gonna make this guy's gonna make stuff funny. That kind of.
Well, dude. You know that was the one thing, and I'm probably going to misquote him, so I don't mean to. But Richard Pryor had a very famous saying, and the meaning of it is on point, but I don't remember it verbatim. But it was something along the lines of, "Funny is not enough. Be interesting."
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Now, what are your tips or recommendations in reference to self tapes and headshots? Like, what have you seen the big no-nos and the big yes, I want that person, let's do it?
Well, for me personally, I work in reality and competitions and all this other stuff, so I personally do not need headshots. But one of my biggest pet peeves is that if I do need a headshot, or you do send me a headshot, you attach it inside the email. Now I'm like scrolling through the email, and it's just like, it's so annoying. So I would suggest, if you're going to send a headshot, send it as an attachment at the bottom, so I can open it up. You know what I mean? Like that's one of my biggest pet peeves. I've talked about that at comedy festivals before, and like everybody on the panel starts laughing because I think we all feel the same way. It's like some people want it in the email, I've heard, but majority of us, I feel like, want it as an attachment. So that's my biggest pet peeve. But get noticed, I think a professional email always is nice. If I post something on Facebook and you send me a DM, did I say send me a DM or did I say in the email or in the post send me an email with this information? Like I think following directions, sending a professional email. You can have a signature on the bottom of your email. I think that's the biggest thing for me. Seeing sent from iPhone means you saw something scrolling, you hit it, you sent me a quick email, and you put your phone down. You didn't take the time to really like do something. And you can go into your phone, into your settings on your phone, into your email settings, and make a signature for yourself. So it's not sent from my phone. You can do it too. I'm not that tech savvy. I know you can do it. And leave your email, your social media, your phone number. Sometimes I get things that I'm like, I really want to pick up the phone and talk to this person while I have this idea in my head. And instead, like, I'm like, hey, call me back. And when they call me back, ideas might not be there still. And so I think that's a big thing is like, put your phone number in it, make a professional email, say hello, write my name, write it correctly. Maybe Claudia or Marla, which it changes to an autocorrect.
You have to be literate. Must be
Yeah.
literate.
So you mean social? So you think? So your perspective is we should put like our social media handles on our signature, like our Instagrams and our Facebooks?
Yes,
Okay.
100%. Because I want to be able just to like click it instead of going, okay, Google search Stacey. So like, it's right there. You know what I mean? It should be a nice, your name, your email address, your social media, your phone number, just like all there. Maybe a nice little like disclaimer or little like photo of you at the end with like, like I don't know, just it's
Okay.
A disclaimer like, please skip the first 4 pictures. They're all with horses. It's not who I really am. Please go to 5 through going on. Thank you.
Another thing I tell
Yes.
people to do, and this is a big piece of advice I tell people all the time, is if you're going to put your cell phone number on your signature, why not make a Google number? Your Google number, which is attached to your Gmail. If your Gmail is attached to your phone, your Google number will ring on your phone. And if that number shows up on your phone, you know immediately that it's a work call and it's not a creditor. So you answer that call super fast. So I suggest that to a lot of people who are performers. That way you're not like, okay, I'll check the voicemail later. It rings, that number shows up. You don't know who's calling because it's a Google number, but it's a work number.
Wow. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I am one of those people that actually sends everyone to voicemail. I pay my bills, guys. I pay my bills. I don't have that problem. And just like I don't recognize this number, just leave a message. That's the type of person that I am. But
Yeah.
okay, I will take that tip. I did
Yeah.
not know that.
Yeah.
Do you think that social media profiles now have more influence in impacting a casting person's decision than an IMDb credit profile now?
Again, I don't cast script, so I don't look at IMDb myself. Um, I'm sure with script casting that might help you as well, for sure. I can only assume. For me, if you have like 200 million followers, hell yeah, that's going to influence people in general. Opinion. They're going to be like, okay, they have 200 million followers. Those 200 million followers are going to come watch our show. Like any show I'm on is going to think that. But if you have 100 followers, it's not going to be like, oh, he only has 100. Like, no, if your talent's there, your personality's there, everything is there, I'm still going to want to cast you. So I don't think it's like a big deal. But I mean, hell yeah, if you have like 200 million followers, fuck yeah, I'm going to be like, did I say that on here? I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to totally pay attention. Like, either I'm not noticing something and other people are, or yeah, like what I said before.
Do you guys have any questions? Like for our audience who's watching, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to go ahead and put it in the comment box below. That way we can go ahead and ask Naela. Do you guys, and welcome back, Dana. We missed you. You missed what, like an hour?
It sucked. It was just typically that situation doesn't run that long, but it just so sorry, you guys. Glad to be here. Glad to be in. Glad to catch you, Naela. Glad to catch the last. I definitely enjoy a lot of what I've seen on AGT. So definitely, happy to be here. Preacher Lawson, the comedian, just so many great things that we've seen out of there.
And I think I'm not the only one who does it. There's a huge team of us, and I give my team a
No, you're the only one. You're the only one who does it. We're telling everyone you're the only one.
Please God,
but no, I think that you're just part of a great family of great content. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that's what I think. Just overall,
watch I Can See Your Voice on Wednesday nights. I cast that, and it's currently on television.
What's it called?
I Can See Your Voice.
Oh, okay.
It's right after The Masked Singer.
Oh, okay.
And that's by Ken, right?
Yeah.
Ken is the one that Okay. Yeah. So you guys know stand-up comedian Ken Jeong. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Ken Jeong.
Yeah. Okay. So he's so funny. I've seen him
He's having trouble on the one-syllable last names.
I always am like surprised to find out when he was a doctor. Imagine doing, being a doctor, and then you're like, I'm just gonna do stand-up comedy.
It's a lot of confidence.
Other people, I want to be the rude issue.
You haven't got to have confidence to leave being a doctor to do stand-up comedy, just like the confidence to jump naked out of a trunk of a car. Like in The Hangover. Like, it takes a lot of confidence to do that.
Oh my gosh.
That's how you know
drugs. I don't think it's drugs. I think with him it's pure confidence.
Yeah.
Or both, or drugs and confidence.
I met him once at the Ha, and I was actually very impressed by him because I just went up there randomly, and someone was like, "Oh, Ken Jeong's here," and he's been on. I was casting I Can See Your Voice, and so I knew he was the host, and so I just kind of wanted to hey, I'm casting a show right now, and then he was on the Gong Show, so I was like, he's been on a couple of my shows, and I know his manager as well, Brett Carducci. And so I was like, hey, I know Brett, I introduced myself. And I think it was 3 hours later, he'd already done his set. He talked to 1 million people. And I was like, hey, I'm just heading out. I just wanted to say thanks again, for saying hi and grabbing a photo with you. And he's like, oh, Naela, it was so nice to meet you. And I was like, I remembered my name. My name is weird. You know what I mean? And he said it right, So I was like, I'm impressed with this man.
You know what? It's insane how many people remember things. And now with TikTok, the biggest trend now is talking about your celebrity encounters and how your experience was with them.
Yeah.
And if at any point you did not treat them well, you smirked or you rolled your eyes, they remember. I think Joel McHale has been he's been a common celebrity encounter that hasn't been negative. What the funny part about it, though, is I've met him. I've been so fortunate to meet him a couple of times. He is a very sarcastic person. With me, I knew he was playing with me.
Yeah.
And as I hear these stories, I'm like, I think he's playing with you. You just probably don't understand.
You don't get it. Yeah, I'm a little bit of a smartass like myself, and I've definitely rubbed people the wrong way before in the past, so I get it. I roll my eyes a lot, and my coworkers have noticed that. So I shouldn't do it anymore.
So, guys, if you ever make it big, remember, TikTok remembers.
TikTok remembers. Yeah. I only recently got on TikTok.
I can't. I have a problem. Are you on it 24/7, even if you don't try to be?
No. I'm on Instagram more. I've started using Instagram a lot and hashtags a lot to find talent. And I feel like Instagram and YouTube are still the biggest places I search when I'm actually just kind of lazily doing searching. TikTok, I've found singers, and some dancers, but not really in comedy or anything. So yeah, no, I'm not on TikTok. I have to get it because I have to search other places to find talent now. I don't know if there's any other app I should look at, but I've looked at Twitch before as well.
Wow,
So
I didn't even know that you were actually looking. Oh,
yeah.
Well, as a 40-year-old guy with a beard, if I spend too much time on TikTok, the police come to my door.
And that's a good thing, right? They're actually working.
Yeah,
now
they're doing their
speaking about
job.
finding talent, if any of you guys have friends or anything, Naela actually has a Facebook page. It's What's Naela Casting Now? Is that the actual? Is that the Facebook group? I think you
Yeah,
have the link. I gave it to
it's
Steph.
yeah, it's a Facebook
Yeah,
group. It's
yeah.
called What's Naela Casting Now, and it's Naela. And myself and other casting producers post casting calls, essentially. Mostly,
Damn.
what's it called? Oh, I have an IMDb page. Who knew? There's probably one credit on there, and I have thousands. I've actually gone up to what's it called? My people over at AGT, and I'm like, hey, can you like credit me so I can like put it on this? And they're like, yeah, sure. It never happens. But yeah, on my Facebook page, people can add themselves there, and they can follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Anybody can add me on Facebook. I still have to go through 100 other ads, but I'm at that limit. So now I'm like very like, should I only have like 2 people in common. Oh, I have 50 people in common with this person. I don't know. I just feel like maybe they're more established.
Well, everybody watching, you see oh, I'm sorry to say I forget what they're called. Hey, there's the hashtag. Sorry, what is the word again? I'm messing up
Social
the word
media
here.
addresses.
Hey, there's the social media stuff right there for Naela on
And your
Facebook.
age is showing.
I know, or my alcoholism. I don't know which one.
He hasn't drinking that beer.
Yeah,
Really
it's got to be
that's
that.
funny.
Yeah.
But you know, where reality meets reality. Interesting on IG or Naela Casting on Facebook or the IMDb right there.